Please help to spread atheism by becoming member of the channel using the join button under all of my videos. Thanks in advance. Now, let's play the video. Ricky Gervais is a British comedian, actor, director and writer who also is a renowned atheist. On many occasions, Gervais has explained atheism in a way that resonates with a large audience. His words are clear, witty, thought-provoking, and many times he captures the essence of atheism in just a few words, making him one of the greatest modern atheists. Let us analyze how Ricky Gervais explains atheism in a nutshell. Let's listen to him.
You're not convicted of your atheism.
Well, I am.
Sure.
No, I am, because atheism is only rejecting the claim that there is a God. Atheism isn't a belief system. Atheism. So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say I don't believe you then.
With this very simple phrasing, Gervais captures the essence of how many atheists experience atheism. It's not about morality, it's not about the origin of life, it's not about the Big Bang, and it's not about evolution. All of these things have got nothing to do with atheism. If Christians try to attack the atheist position by starting a debate about evolution or the Big Bang, you immediately know that they are not honest, because it has been explained a million times that these topics have got nothing to do with atheism. Atheism doesn't believe or claim anything. No, atheism does not claim that a God does not exist. Every Christian apologist who tells you that is also dishonest. It has been explained a million times that the only thing all atheists have in common is that they don't believe the claim that a God exists, just like Ricky Gervais explains perfectly fine. Some atheists might believe that a God does not exist, but that only is a subset of atheism. Atheism just hears the God claim and says, I don't believe that claim. Again, just like Ricky Gervais perfectly explained.
So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say I don't believe you then.
On top of that, Ricky Gervais clearly states that atheism is not a belief system, and he's very right about that.
You're not convicted of your atheism.
Well, I am.
Sure.
No, I am, because atheism is only rejecting the claim that there is a God. Atheism isn't a belief system.
Now, this is a very tricky one, because again, many Christian apologists will try to attack the atheist position by calling it a belief system, which is a strange argument because they basically try to show that atheism is bad because it's just like their own religion. But atheism, of course, is not a belief system. It doesn't believe anything. Not even that a God does not exist. Atheism doesn't have any system of obligations, prohibitions, hierarchy, ideology or punishment behind it. So atheism is not a belief and it's not a system. So it's not a belief system, as Ricky Gervais pointed out very clearly. In many cases, atheism is just a response to the millions of God claims that are made by religious people on a daily basis. Atheists in many cases, and especially in America, are taught by their parents, schools and churches that a God exists, and they've been told this over and over and over again from the day they were little children. That is why they believe that a God exists in the first place. And then when these people grow up, many of them start to think, does this God really exist? Then what evidence do we have to prove this God's existence? The Bible? How does the Bible prove anything? And then they start thinking about the arguments for the existence of a God that they hear their preacher promote in their church, and they discover that these arguments are really poor. A creation needs a creator? What evidence do we have that the stuff around us is a creation in the first place? Something cannot come from nothing? Nobody ever said that. So why even bring that up? Millions of people from all over the world, and especially in America, are in the process of discovering the lack of verifiable evidence for the existence of their God. And many countries in Europe are way ahead in this development. In Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, the Netherlands and Britain, entire generations grow up without the need for believing in a God, without the need for a church, without being afraid for supposed eternal punishment, just for not obeying some God. And many of these countries happen to be among the richest, happiest and freest nations in the world. That is what atheism can offer you. And Ricky Gervais perfectly explains what your first step towards atheism could look like. Your preacher, teacher or parent says there is a God. You say, can you prove that? Your preacher, teacher or parent says no, or comes up with some meaningless Bible quote, or some of their other silly arguments that prove nothing. So you say, I don't believe you then. And as of then, there is no longer a good reason for you to believe in the existence of a God. Let's listen to Ricky Gervais saying that once again, because I need a lot of words, but Gervais explains it in 5 seconds.
So this is atheism in a nutshell. You say, there's a God. I say, can you prove that? You say no. I say, I don't believe you then.